Hello, my darlings. Welcome back or welcome to Marion K Tarot. This is going to be a reading for the week commencing the 24th of November until the 30th of November. Okay, so we've got some energies, we've got some fun astrological things going on. Is it fun? I don't know if fun is the right word to use, okay? But, sorry, I'm actually right. Full transparency here, right? You know, right? I'm writing down the dates of what this reading is for because I'll forget when I go to do the thumbnail, and I always do the thumbnail after the video. Okay, so what have we got going on? The sun is now in Sagittarius, so we are officially in Sagittarius season. So to all my Saggies who watch, hi, happy birthday. So the main things happening this week astrologically are the fact that Saturn and Mercury, everybody's friend, are going direct. So Saturn goes direct in Pisces on Friday, and Mercury goes direct in Scorpio on Saturday. Okay, and then they'll speed up and they will go into the next signs respectively. Mars, when we get Mars, I don't know. Mercury will very quickly move out of Scorpio and go through Sagittarius, but will not be clear of the shadow period until well into December. So, things are still, you still need to be really careful with your communication, etc. Saturn will be moving into Aries again. We had a snapshot of that earlier in 2025. And Saturn will remain there for the next 2.5, 3 years. So yeah, interesting times ahead. But we will not be afraid. We will work with the energies, and we will take it as it comes. So this week, in light of Sagittarius season and the fact that it's bright, it's bubbly, it's fun, I am using a really bright deck. It is Zekes Arcana Tarot, and if you've been here for any length of time, it is one of the surprising decks that people see me using because they're like, it's so pink and secret. Here's a secret, right? I actually kind of like pink, right? But don't tell anybody, right? So it's got lovely pink shiny edges, and it is very bright. It's just a bit crazy. Okay, but I felt that after the darkness, not the bad darkness, but like just the kind of a deep depth and feeling of Scorpio season and that Scorpio new moon, my god, who else is feeling that? Hoofed. I just thought we needed something light and bright and just see where it goes. Okay, so let's get into it. So let's see, can we have 3 cards please for the week ahead? See what's coming up. Please, what do we need to be aware of? What do we need to know? What's coming towards us? All the things. Okay, let's see. So we've got, okay, so 3 cards. Interesting. Right, okay. So at the bottom of the deck we have got the Hanged Man. Okay, so it's like a bat. What? How cute is that? Told you they are mental. So the bottom here is the energy at the foot of this is really be aware of changing perspectives. Okay, and what's really interesting is the last week or so I have been reading a lot up on the Chinese astrology. I dabble, I'm nowhere near like versed in it, etc. I know the signs, and that's about it, to be honest. But we're currently in the year of the snake, and it's the snake is always about shedding things, etc., and we are moving into the year of the horse. The year of the horse is very different energy. It's about moving forward. It's about charging into what we want. And the universal years are changing. So the numerology of the years are really important. We are currently in a universal 9 year. So we are moving for a 9 year and we're ticking over into a universal 1 year. So this is all about this real kind of there's a feeling of real new beginnings when the calendar ticks over into 2026. Now what I'm saying this for is, in the image of this card, there is snakes here, okay? And that's immediately what I thought, when I seen this, that was the thought that came to my mind. And I feel this different perspective that the Hanged Man traditionally speaks about, seeing things from a different perspective, then it's once we do any shedding that we need to do, that's when we'll be able to see the new perspective. It's all wrapped up in the same thing. So this week, that could be really coming forward for you. Okay, so please bear that in mind. Okay, the cards that we got out proper are... Okay, sorry, I'm talking. I love these cards. So we've got the King of Cups. Okay, there's Mr. Scorpio, loud and proud. Right, so it's like he is not letting go that easily. Okay, because we've still obviously got Mercury and Scorpio. So yeah, just kind of making that presence known. But that's a very grounding energy, even though it's water. It's grounded water, if that even makes sense. I mean, what is grounded water? Ice? I don't know. We have then got the Six of Wands. Okay, and say that kind of I nearly said unicorn there, but like that seahorse stroke, sea unicorn stroke energy, that is there, and it's like that charging forward as well. And then we have got the Moon. That I adore the imagery of this card. It's like we've got the wolf there, but we've got that really happy waggy golden retriever, and then we've got like the crustacean. I never know what to say. Some people think it's a shrimp, some people think it's a lobster in the Moon card. I don't know. I just say crustacean because that covers everything. So what are my general feelings coming up? It's like this week, there is a real opportunity to learn through our emotions. Maybe, perhaps like last week when we had that new moon in Scorpio, it was really intense, and there was so many things happening in it. There was the Grand Water Trine, there was the opposition to Uranus and Taurus, there was the Kazemi, there was so much going on, and a lot of it. And even if you don't follow the astrology, we all still feel it as a collective. So it's... I feel like the King of Cups came here just to say, you are able to master your emotions. You are the master of your emotions. So if there's things going on round about you that are, that are almost kind of like goading you or daring you this week to get emotional about something, understand that you have got control over your own emotions. Okay? You have got control over how you react to other people. You do not have control over other people. Okay? You do not have control over how they act, how they attempt to treat you, what they say. Okay? You have got no control over that. How you control is what you say in response. You might decide to respond. You might not, but you might not decide to respond. It's like no response is a response. It's like understand that and believe in that. But it's like this victorious energy. It feels like there is a celebration here. And you recognising your own shadows. Okay, and I'm saying that because of the moon. There is a recognition for you. And looking at this seahorse, if you like, it has got a bit of a sting. It looks as if it's got a stinger there in its tail. So maybe there is like a kind of, even though this is a card of Leo, You know, it's there is this kind of feeling towards like a kind of hint to Scorpio with the sting in the tail. But what I want to say to that is, you know, it's like, let's celebrate. So maybe during Scorpio season, you know, there was a big breakthrough that you had with regards to something that was going on in your unconscious, in your subconscious, in your shadow. You know, maybe this Scorpio season you really decided, right, I'm going to look into this, you know, I'm going to peek back the curtain. I'm going to see what's in there, you know, what's in here, what's in my gut, you know, what's in my head that I don't want to acknowledge. And if you've been brave enough to go on that journey, you know, congratulations, because it's no easy. You know, that's why so many people don't do the work, because it isn't easy. So if you're on that journey, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the fact that you're doing so well. You're amazing. I am super proud of you. Even if you're just thinking about it, even going on like a therapeutic journey, you know, going and speaking to somebody, it's a massive thing. And making that step is such an important thing to do. Now, how does that show up this week? It shows up this week in saying that you are acknowledging your worth. You're acknowledging your self-worth. The fact that you can be vulnerable, you know, because the King of Cups gets his strength from acknowledging vulnerability. Okay, it's realizing that the greatest strength comes from showing your vulnerabilities. It's really, really hard. It's so much easier to be, oh well, I'm super strong and I don't need to show emotions and blah blah blah. Trust me, I've been that person. I'm still really that person. But occasionally there'll be somebody who comes into your life and they make you feel safe enough to acknowledge the soft parts of yourself and share them and share your vulnerabilities. So if that's you, then go for it this week. You know, if you've been sitting in the fence thinking, what do I do, what do I not do, go for it this week. You have to celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself in all the different ways, in all the facets of yourself. Okay? It's also a week of discovering things. It's a week of self-realizations. It's a week of realizations about other people in your life. Understanding that, you know, the whole period of Scorpio season has been this acknowledgement of, you know, when I'm going to say this right, but I don't mean it to sound like nasty or anything, right? But it's like recognising and seeing people's true colours, if you like, you know. And I don't mean that in a horrible way. You know, it could be that we have been under an illusion of somebody's intentions, etc., you know, or we've maybe held this narrative in our head about particular people in our lives or particular situations, when and actually it's nothing like we think, you know. And that's how I'd always suggest that you don't know what people are going through, you know, so protect your energy, but recognise that we're no perfect, we're perfectly imperfect as human beings, and that's kind of the point. Okay, so hope that helps you. We are going to move on and we're going to pull a card for the Grief Journey Oracle. And thank you so much for all the purchases that have been coming through. It's been amazing. We are so, myself and Terry, we are so grateful. It's wonderful and it's amazing to see it out in the world and it's getting tagged in social media, etc. It's really cool. And I'm just so happy and pleased that it's doing its work. Right, okay. Let's see. Okay, so it's really weird because see when I seen The King of Cups coming up, right, with this tiger. Okay. I seen this card in my mind's eye, Fury. The Fury can be a lot of different things. It can be fury at ourselves, it can be angry at ourselves, but it can be the basis of our recovery. Okay, it can be the baseline of our healing, because we burn all the shit down. You know, it's like we're angry, we're fury, we're angry, we're rage. It's the thing that keeps us going. When something first happens, for instance, like a passing of somebody, you know, it's the first stage, and it's the thing that keeps us alive. It's the thing that makes us know that we're alive. Okay, so for this week, the Fury, if there is something that you feel that you've been bottling up, that there's something that you don't know how much longer you can hold on to something, go somewhere and scream. Okay, I know it sounds crazy. Go somewhere and scream. If you drive, take your car, go to a quiet car park somewhere, you know, that nobody will hear you, and just scream, right? Or if you're lucky to live near, like, I don't know, if you went to a forest or something and screamed, I mean, some poor dog walker, you know, they might get the fright of their life and think you're getting murdered. So maybe no, do that, but somewhere that's safe. Okay, somewhere that's safe for you to go and just scream. And I highly recommend this. It's like screaming till you cannot scream any further, and don't worry about what other people would think. You don't need to tell everybody. You know, that's the thing, you know, it's like you don't have to tell everyone what you're doing all the time. You know, social media has taken over so much of our lives, but we can escape it. You know, we can escape, and if it's just sheer frustration, and it might be sheer frustration because of, you know, that Mercury retrograde, because of Saturn retrograde, you know, it's like things are hard work. When Saturn goes retrograde, you know, it's like, it's hard work anyway with Saturn, but it just might be even harder. Okay, my darling, so take that into consideration. Do not feel fury, anger, etc. Society has told us that these are like bad emotions, but they are the emotions that keep us alive. They are the emotions that we feel most intently, that let us know that we're still alive. Okay, my loves. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you have a wonderful week, whatever you are up to, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, take care. Bye.